Hello, everybody. Welcome. Howdy. Thanks for coming back. My name is Brian. This is the Unhappy Hour. It is Wednesday, October 18th, 2017, and the Cleveland Cavaliers started off on the right foot, getting a win against the Celtics. Honestly, I wasn't planning on saying that. It just is how it came out. Not making a joke about Gordon Hayward. But I do have to pause and think about that for a second, because there's humor in poorly timed situations. There's humor in not funny things. Humor is an interesting thing. Humor cannot be quantified. It either is or is not funny. And that was just kind of funny. But yeah, the Cavaliers started off the game strong. I was out and came back, heard about the injury, watched it, kind of sat down and got to absorb the second half of the game. And man, that third quarter was brutal to watch. The Cavaliers did not look good. Very sloppy. Looks like a team with a whole bunch of new players. And LeBron, who claimed to be out of shape. As much as somebody can be out of shape who takes care of himself the way that LeBron does. I'm sure he has higher expectations. But anyway, I want to bounce through the league. Obviously, the brutal Gordon Hayward injury is something. Once you've seen it, you're not going to be able to unsee it. It's not something that you're going to forget. But it has me wondering if there's any sort of voodoo curse with Kyrie Irving and his pastor who convinced him to leave the Cavaliers. The pastor who allegedly, according to stories, was also influential in Justin Bieber canceling his entire concert. I don't know. Just wonder if there's some sort of voodoo stuff going on with Kyrie Irving and wanting to be in charge of a team, and he got traded somewhere where they had just signed a big free agent, and maybe it wasn't in the cards. Look, that's very conspiratorial, metaphysical, ridiculous to even mention. But that's what I do. I mention these things and I ponder them and go, so if everybody's over here watching in this camera, we're on Facebook Live. You can leave comments below. Any stuff you want to say, just type it in the comments section and I will try to get to it. If you're watching over here, it's probably on vid.me/thenewamericanmedia. Link up with that account. It's our backup one since YouTube is now flagging and shadow banning a whole bunch of our sports videos. We're not even talking about current events or politics or anything all that ridiculous. We're just having conversations, but they don't like the conversations we're having. So you can still subscribe, youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. I've given up on it as a platform. So I'm switching over to vid.me. Link up with us over there. Want to take you around the world of sports a bit and kind of get you keyed into what's going on right now. This one's interesting. Larry Nassar is the Olympic gymnastics coach. Here we go. USA Gymnastics doctor. This guy's already facing 22 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and could receive life in prison. Michaela Maroney is alleging past abuse by Nassar all the way back to 13 years old. Gross. So we can follow this. And gross. What are you supposed to say about that? Yeah, Chris Paul already sitting out the end of the Rockets game with a sore knee. That's not good. Over in Chicagoland, that's interesting what's going on. Broken facial bones. Nikola Mirotic got jacked by Bobby Portis. Both going for the same starting forward position. And then he knocks him out in a total Tanya Harding move. Ugh, what a mess. What a mess. Reminds me of the Geno Smith situation when he was quarterbacking over at with the New York Football Jets. Obviously, they weren't both quarterbacks, but it's reminiscent. Little Tanya Harding thing. Let's go into the world of baseball for a second here. I just want to touch on it. I don't really want to talk about it because it makes me sad, honestly. that the Cleveland Indians got bounced so quickly. But the LA Dodgers are up 3-0 over the Chicago Cubs. One game away. If there's one thing I've learned, you can't sit on a lead. You can't be comfortable being up. You can't be comfortable ever. I mean, you just have to dominate and destroy your opponent. You can't count the Cubs out. They're the reigning champs, and they came back from a 3-1 deficit before. So, to the Indians in the World Series last year. So, Cubs are on the brink. It's do or die time, literally. So, let's see what happens over there, and then look at the Yankees. Yankees, Astros. Astros took the commanding lead, going up 2-0. Now it's tied 2-2 with the game today. Both of them have games today. 2 o'clock Pacific time and 6 o'clock Pacific time. Respectively with the Yankees and the Cubs games. So, anyway, let's see how that goes. But I'm going to switch back to the rest of the stuff going on. Yeah, Cavaliers getting the win. It's very important for us to start off on the... Okay, I can't say it again. It's just a turn of phrase. It's just a thing that you say. The Cavaliers to start off... What do you say? What do you say if you don't say off on the right foot? I'm really not trying to be a dick here. I'm just trying to... starting off on the right foot. What is another way to say that? Starting off... okay, I need help. In the comment section, put something. Type it afterward. What else could I say instead of starting off on the right foot? This is left foot, anyway. What's up, John? What's up, Todd? What's up, Darren? Covering the sports. Ohio State, just want to mention, Ohio State with 1 loss is not knocked out of the title run right now. You're starting to see him kind of slide back up into the rankings. And that's good. It's a very young team. We had so many players drafted into the NFL last year. There's a lot of turnover at positions. Obviously not the key position with JT Barrett, under center for the Buckeyes for the 15th consecutive season, it feels like, since back in the end of the Bill Clinton administration. We've had JT Barrett at quarterback. Excuse me. But yeah, the Ohio State Buckeyes are getting their act together kind of at the right time. They're going to face some tests. They're going to have a big game against Penn State, a big game against Michigan, of course, a Big Ten championship game. They have every opportunity in the world to prove they're at least top 4. It's all in front of them. If they want it, they can do it. If the Buckeyes want this and if they play well, they got every opportunity, every possibility in front of them for a direct path to the playoffs. And that's all you need. You just need a shot to the playoffs. You don't need to be the unanimous number 1 regular season AP votes or coaches poll. You just got to get in and then win. Then you got to win 2 games. So I like how the Buckeyes are positioned. J.K. Dobbins looking good. I think the team's going to get better and better and better and better. I understand that most teams are going to get better, but I think we're going to get exponentially better. But hey, proof is in the pudding. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so let me pull up this story. I only want to cover it to kind of bookend it. I'm kind of done talking about it. If I can even find it. There it is. Okay, so a couple things in the NFL. I want to talk about DeShone Kizer, the Browns rookie. I did my show, was it yesterday, and kind of named it what I call the show? A Tale of Two Deshaun's. Deshaun Watson. Obviously the Browns will forever be linked with the Houston Texans because we traded our pick to the Texans, and we got their first round, their second round to make it happen. But Deshaun Watson is lighting it up down in Houston with the Texans, and DeShone Kizer got benched for a bum. So anyway, against the Tennessee Titans, Kaiser's going to get the start. Second round pick. First 5 games of the year was starter. Hogan just looked bad. 3 interceptions. I don't know. Part of me was just saying, at halftime, you grab DeShone Kizer by the face mask and you say, look, son, you want to keep playing? Don't throw interceptions like Hogan just did. You got it? Throw it away. Throw it at the feet. Throw it out of bounds. Take a penalty. Don't turn the ball over, and you can keep playing. And let him back in. But then maybe, this is a developmental process. It can take an NFL quarterback a while to get ready, to get good. We can't write off the Cleveland Browns right now. We can't write off this coaching staff. We can't write off this front office. I understand why you want to. I understand if you want to. I understand that we've pretty much only won one game in the past 2 years. What is the stat? 1-31 or so? Just something disgusting. Whatever it is. And honestly, I talked about this earlier today with ratings for the NFL are down 7.5% through the first 6 weeks of this season. Shocking. And my comment back, somebody in the sports group, the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, it's a private group on Facebook, link up with it, invite all your sports friends, Indians, Cavs, Browns, and Buckeyes especially. Someone posted that millennials have different attitudes towards sports and they're watching less. Yeah, all right, that's a nice way to cherry pick one particular thing and try to extrapolate from a tiny millennial group. Obviously, they're a significant buying force out here in Hollywood. The TV shows and producers and people that I'm talking to and working with, everybody wants to book millennials. Everybody wants. It's the new target demographic of purchasers. It's just analytics. That's all it is. But it's not just changes in viewing habits. You have these protests going on, and if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, at what point should we protest? I flew back to Cleveland. I was at the home opener. I really like going to the home opener. I really like visiting Ohio in that time of year. I like going to games, but I expect competency. Competency is the lowest bar that has to be hurdled. Competency. I want to dominate. I want to win. I want championships. I know it seems like a pipe dream, but no, it's not. Obviously, we're on 19 years now of this nonsense. But at what point do Cleveland Browns fans just say enough is enough? But look, I read another article yesterday talking about, well, there were so many that went out. One saying it's time to fire Hugh Jackson and get rid of the coaching or the front office, Sashi Brown and everybody. Yeah, and I don't know what's going to happen with Corey Coleman. I don't know if he's going to eventually be a productive wide receiver in the league or not. I don't know about DeShone Kizer, but I know you got to work with him. You need to develop his talent. It's going to take more than a couple of games with a bunch of backup wide receivers while Josh Gordon is still not reinstated for some reason, and Corey Coleman's on the sidelines, and David Njoku just got his driver's license or his alcohol consumption permit, turning 21. It's going to take a minute. I know that it's going to take a minute. The other article that I found very interesting was saying that the Cleveland Browns were going to reap the benefits of 3 years of tanking, kind of like the Philadelphia 76ers. You're going to have to be bad for a while and accumulate a bunch of talent, kind of like the Celtics. The Celtics had to go through a couple of lean years and then, trading Garnett and Pierce and everybody over to the Nets and collecting draft picks, then using those draft picks, then using those draft picks to parlay a trade for Kyrie, signing a free agent, and then you see, it's cyclical. You can only play the hand of poker that you're dealt. So when you sit down at the table, you have a situation. If you want to prepare that situation for a different strategy, it takes a lot of circulations, moving that dealer button around the table until you get the opportunity. You have to work the salary cap. LeBron James playing GM back in the 2007, 2008, 2009. We're talking the first go around with the Cavaliers. He was playing GM behind the scenes. He was pushing for certain players. Go get Ben Wallace. He's available. Go get Wally Zerbiak. He's available. Go get Larry Hughes, he's available. Go get all these guys. But then you sign him to the, you're bringing in the contract. So you're not just getting the guy, and you're not getting him for that one season. You're getting these players locked into 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year deals. You're just handcuffing yourself. You're just saying, this is what I'm chaining myself to this concept for a long time. And LeBron looked around and went, okay, that didn't work out well. Let's try it down here with a couple superstars. Once again, this was no surprise, Dwayne Wade. Welcome to Cleveland, by the way. That still seems weird to say. Do you want to talk about the mastermind behind this? Maybe it was Pat Riley, maybe it was Dwayne Wade, maybe it was LeBron, maybe it was Bosh, maybe it was all of them. Maybe. But I do know that they had to clear out their books. They had to tank. They had to get bad. The Miami Heat had to drop all of the contracts so that they could bring in the new contracts. And that's why, the LeBron to LA thing looks the way it does, is because Magic comes in trying to get the game plan together, getting rid of some contracts, getting rid of, got rid of, the Brooklyn Nets. That's a big one with the Cavs and the Lakers. Just kind of seeing D'Angelo Russell, seeing the big guy, former Cavalier. I'm drawing a blank on his name. What is that dude's name? Mozgov. Thank you. I just thanked myself, by the way. I don't have a producer. Hold on, wait. What's his name? Oh, Mozgov. Thank you. They took on contracts. They took on salary. Lakers gave it away. So are they looking to make a run here? Dwayne Wade's a free agent. Derrick Rose is a free agent. Isaiah Thomas is a free agent. LeBron, you go, okay, they're not going to do this again, are they? Meanwhile, the Cavs have a whole bunch of contracts. Although less. Kyrie. Although I still don't understand why we got rid of him. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that it takes a while to set up a game plan. And the Cleveland Browns have a plan in place, and you're about ready to reap the benefits of it. When you finally start cashing in all these high draft picks, a couple more free agent signings, this team could be set up for long-term success. Build the core foundation. Myles Garrett looks good. If he can stay healthy, obviously, but that's with everybody. So, just roll with the Browns. I am tired of this, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year recycle. It takes a while to bottom out as a franchise. After LeBron left, how long did it take for the Cavs to dump their salaries and move the current contracts and get all expiring contracts and accumulate draft picks and then cash those draft picks? It takes a while to hit Control-Alt-Delete on a franchise. And if there's a franchise that needs to hit Control-Alt-Delete, it's the Browns. So yeah, it's been rough going for the past 2 years. Is anyone surprised for a bad team to get even badder? To get even worse? Why should that come as a surprise to anybody? It shouldn't. The Cleveland Browns needed to fully gut and re-implement a new system. Give Hugh Jackson a chance to coach DeShone Kizer. Give the offensive line a little bit of time to gel. Give... these are the dog days of football. And that's why it's so nice to see even the Cavaliers in a bad game. They were up by 17-18 yesterday. I do understand that. And after the Hayward injury, the air was taken out of Quicken Loans Arena. I understand that. And it's such a new team learning how to play together. You're going to have third quarters like we did yesterday. I don't want to see this become a commonplace thing. But hey, it shows, even after a super weak third quarter where the Cavs were basically dominated by the Celtics, missing Gordon Hayward, they were able to put it back together, get some key stops, play some good defense, get some good rebounds, and make some of the right plays when it counted at the end of the game to get it done, and that's what counts. This is a marathon, not a sprint. That's the one thing we've learned. Yes, thank you, Antonio. It is Mozgov. I did have to catch up on that one. I don't know. I missed the big fella for so long. I missed his commercials. What was that, Beer Garden? What was that place? They got one in Strongsville by the mall. What is the name of Mozgov? The beer garden? Some kind of beer garden. Talking about the bartender. Those were great commercials. Yes, Mozgov. But yeah, so I mean, even though it was a wicked night for that injury, it was good to see the Cavs win. More on the injury, though. Honestly, I am delving into the metaphysical, the wacky, the conspiratorial, the next level Kyrie Irving situation. It was just so strange to see Kyrie playing on another team yesterday. It was so strange to see. I don't know. I still don't get it. Everybody has the right to make whatever decisions they want in life. You know, I don't need to root for you. I don't need to like you. But something about this Kyrie thing seems off. It just seems off. I know he's a weird cat talking about a flat earth. I know that he's hanging out with that preacher, pastor guy that allegedly has a bunch of influence. I'm so into that story. I saw Brendan Schaub talking about it on Joe Rogan's podcast when he brought up Kyrie and Justin Bieber and this pastor. And so I'm digging into the story a little bit. I got to get more info. If any of you guys have it, put it in the comments section. I'm very interested to see what we have going on there. But anyway, bouncing back around, because my gut's telling me there's more to this story. My gut's telling me more will be revealed in time, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it now. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just that gene that I have. I don't know if you call it conspiratorial or, tinfoil hat. You're always looking for, it's like the opposite of Occam's razor. Is there an opposite of Occam's razor? I'm going to actually ask myself that. Opposite, I'm writing it down, of Occam's razor. Because Occam's razor says that, here, here we go. Let's get you an actual definition here. Occam's razor is a problem-solving principle attributed to William of Occam. Okay, no, I just need the description. Is it so tough to find a definition here? Okay. It's a principle from philosophy. Suppose there are two explanations for an occurrence. In this case, the simpler one is usually better. Another way of saying it is that the more assumptions you have to make, the more unlikely an explanation is. Occam's razor applies especially in the philosophy of science, but also more generally. That's not a good definition here. There you go. A line of reasoning saying that the simplest answer is often correct. I understand that. I get that. I just find it more interesting to consider the other less likely scenarios. That's the part that gets me. That's the part that I like. The less likely scenarios. So I'm following the Kyrie story. Just something seems off. Maybe it's not, but something just seems weird, and we're gonna find out more about this weirdo. What's up, Ed? What's up, Antonio, John, Todd, Darren? If anyone has comments or questions, type them below. I'll try to add them to the conversation. So I don't know. Maybe just Kyrie just wanted to be the man. He wanted to be as big a deal as LeBron. Whatever, man. So anyway, Cavs got the win, 102-99. The Golden State Warriors lost. That was a bonus, right? That was a really nice bonus. The Rockets beat them. There's a last-minute shot. Kevin Durant knocked it in. His time expired, but he still had the ball on his fingertips when I love that red light around the basket. on the glass. It's got that red light. Love that thing. It just, you slow it down in slow-mo, you always know. When that thing clicks off, you pause it. It's perfect. I love it. Way better than, what was it, when Fox Sports illuminated the hockey puck? I don't know. That didn't really work as well. But yeah, seeing the Warriors go down, that makes me happy. I'll take that. Warriors lose. Rockets win. Wonder if the Rockets are going to be a force to be reckoned with. The Thunder. Wonder if they're going to be legit title contenders. Okay, thank you, Ed. Yes, Ed, let's talk. Let's connect after in between shows. Yes, Ed and I were talking about a few different things. Ed plays some fantasy football with us, and we're talking about doing a kind of because of what YouTube is doing, which is committing suicide. It's a self-imposed death sentence that they're doing. RGR, what's that? I don't know what that means. So what I think I'm going to do because of what YouTube is doing is kind of, I have a plan to relaunch the New American Media in a different way, to retheme it, to rebrand it, and to take over where YouTube is screwed up. So, in a nutshell, Ed, that's what I'm talking to you about. Oh, censorship, it means Roger. RGR. Oh, okay. Yeah, you speak in military code. I never served, so I don't get all of these things. RGR, Roger. RGR. Roger. Okay, that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna. I got a plan to kind of fill in what the market has left off. I think there's a lot of people that are being censored who shouldn't be censored right now. I think we need more conversation as opposed to less. And I think that what Google, YouTube has been doing to their channel is abhorrent. It is possibly even criminal. The selective censorship, the selective outrage, the demonetization campaigns, and the shadow banning techniques that have been used to silence certain people if you don't drink certain Kool-Aid. But I think there's enough people out there doing independent media, doing commentary, covering current events and news. If that's not allowed on your platform, I think the New American Media needs to be the place where that does exist. So, in a nutshell, that's what I'm going for, Ed. That's what I was going to take a long time texting you, but that's what I'm thinking. Basically, turn the New American Media into a YouTube-style interface where we can go out and grab all of the content producers that have been targeted and demonetized and censored by Gulag, by Google, YouTube, and get everyone to jump ship at the same time and bring them over to our network. And just launch with, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 top-notch content creators who are going to be monetizable, who can make a bunch over there and bring all of the audience to the new platform at the same time. If we're not wanted over there at YouTube and Google, fine. Good thing I spent the past 6 years developing my channel and building up my brand over there. For what? So I can have my Indians videos censored, not monetizable, not suitable for most advertisers because I talk about the Cleveland Browns. What's up, Jose? Once again, any comments or questions in the Facebook group if you want to mention anything, Indians, Cavs, Browns, Buckeyes, or otherwise, we can get into it in the channel over here. So, yeah, I'm just kind of going through what we got going on. Like I said, Deshaun Kaiser is going to get the start again. Ezekiel Elliott, another temporary restraining order. It's such a weird story. I can't think of many people who find violent or abusive situations to be something they want to continue, engaging in or supporting or condoning. I mean, we've seen what Hollywood has done. The politics and media. It's always easy to overlook what your side, people on your side, what they're up to and what they're doing, and attack the other person. Oh, look at what they're doing over there. It's like, please, Hollywood, do not wear these pink hats on your heads and lecture us while you got Harvey Weinstein, the worst kept secret in Hollywood, doing their thing. But this is one here, especially as Buckeye fans watched Ezekiel Elliott, and then now he's been suspended And now there's another temporary restraining order, so the suspension is on hold. It's all swirling around incident with his ex-girlfriend and whatever happened, but there was no criminal charges. It was reviewed. It was the suspension was challenged, and the female in charge of the reinvestigation of Ezekiel Elliott, the judge said, I don't find anything here. There's nothing I can do here. There's no evidence to conclude with certainty what's going on. And we've seen plenty of stories about that this was like a concocted scheme by the ex-girlfriend to get him in trouble. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't really make an educated guess, put a hypothesis on the Ezekiel Elliott situation. I can't do it. I don't have it in me. I don't know. All I'm saying is, what does the evidence point to? It's the same thing I say with Trayvon, same thing I say with Mike Brown, same thing I say with Tamir Rice, all these things at the NFL protests, vaguely referencing, but there's really nothing specific, so you don't even know what's being argued. Case by case by case by case, break it down point by point by point by point. The Ezekiel Elliott thing, if there's not enough evidence there to convict, if the glove does not fit, you must acquit. I don't know. So, the ramifications for fantasy football, obviously, are huge. Huge. I drafted Zeke in one of my leagues, and I picked him up in a later round, and I don't know. If it weren't for fantasy football, my interest in the NFL this year would be so much less. So I'm going to have to reevaluate next year. I'm going to trim down the amount of leagues that I'm in. I don't think I need to be consuming this much NFL. Getting back to these protests, because this is the next story I have to cover here. Sure, just like Westboro Baptist, you could hold signs outside, hold signs that say God hates fags and protest a military funeral. I mean, I guess you have a First Amendment right to be a jerk. Is this a good idea? No. Is kneeling during the anthem a good idea? No. It's just not. And go ahead and pretend that it's something that it's not, or that it isn't something that it is. I don't need to participate in it. I don't need to go to Westboro Baptist Church. I don't need to buy a t-shirt or a hat. I don't need to spend my Sundays there at Westboro Baptist Church, and I don't need to spend them on football. The flag and the anthem is something where I take some time to think it through, what the country means to me, what my purpose is, the ways I give back, the people who have given so that I can have this life today. It's a moment of reflection. I don't need your personal politics coming up here. And it was Kaepernick and a couple of other guys until the president said something about it, and then everybody had to jump in. Get out of here with your selective, phony, politically driven outrage. Oh, what's up, Greg? Greg is saying you should just pay her off like Greg Hardy did. Oh, too soon. Yeah. Well, a lot of these, they're shakedown efforts. I've been reading these stories about these. It's a whole professional. I'm not going to get into all of it now, but there's a whole professional industry of women who target professional athletes to get inseminated, to get knocked up, to poke holes in condoms, to get condoms out of the trash and try to get. I don't want to go into all the gross details, but there's a lot of attractive females out there that are looking to advance their financial situation at the expense of they're laying out a trap, a honeypot, and getting someone to fall into it. So if we're talking about Me Too, hashtag Me Too, and Harvey Weinstein, I was propositioned, somebody said something mean to me, something said, it's like, okay, but there's also Hollywood starlets that are out in my backyard all the time. Okay, maybe not my personal backyard, but I can see the Hollywood sign from The Office. They want what they want, and they're playing a game too. So, these streets and these conversations go more than one way. And that's where people lose track of the conversations. I like to consider the other side. I like to ponder and switch roles, do a role reversal before I come up with any solid opinions on a lot of these situations. So, don't wear your pink hats on inauguration weekend protesting something the president said with his locker room talk, but you're allowing Harvey Weinstein, the worst kept secret in America, to just go unabated for decades. So, it's just disingenuous. I want to cover this one here. This is NFL owners. So the president is tweeting again, saying that it's disrespectful. I'm trying to find it. Oh, there we go. The NFL is, here's a tweet from President Trump. The NFL has decided that it will not force players to stand for the playing of our national anthem. Total disrespect for our great country! Exclamation mark. It is. You don't have to stand for the anthem. And someone telling you what you have to do, maybe you don't like it. But how many millions of dollars is the NFL getting paid to do that? So you want to eliminate the national anthem? You don't want to come out on the field for it? Okay, well, if that's what you want, fine. Because to a lot of people out there, you know what it represents. And you're kneeling because you don't like this country. You're kneeling because you're putting Fidel Castro t-shirts on. You're kneeling because you're wearing police as pig socks while you're out there on the football field. Yeah, I get it. We had a president for 8 years who disliked this country and did nothing but apologize for us and all the stuff that happened before anybody who didn't own a slave walked this earth. I get it that a lot of bad things happen on this planet. What is the argument today? Is anybody trying to say we should reinstate all of these things that a civil war was fought over? A couple hundred idiots in Charlottesville? I mean, this is all a political stunt, and I don't want it mixed with my football. I don't. I do my media stuff with the New American Media, with the Agree to Disagree show. I do the shows that I do. And I like blending them together. I like blending sports and politics. But I don't like having to keep covering the same crap over and over. I want to hit it and quit it. And if there's new angles and new stuff to consider, keep going. This is more of Hillary Clinton running her failed campaign from last year. I don't want to do it. I don't think the country wants to do it. Every 4 years is too often to have to go through this national nonsense where identity politics is played. And it's like, oh, if you haven't had my shared experience and you don't have an ability to talk about it. Yeah, okay. But anyway, getting to this story here, the players, let's see, meeting with owners and players, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, they did not ask for any changes to the policy on the national anthem. They talked about issues players are trying to bring attention to, issues in our communities to make our communities better. Okay, every professional athlete is expected to, encouraged to participate, volunteer, contribute to their own local community and make things better. This is nothing new. These protests are purely political, and people don't want them mixed with their football. So the policy states that the players should stand for the anthem. You're going to say should versus must? Okay. Yeah, that's literally what they're doing. They're doing the Bill Clinton definition of what the word is. Okay, they should stand for the anthem, but they don't have to. Or they should change that they must stand for the national anthem. Stand during the Star-Spangled Banner. A very important, productive meeting. Okay, it's all these players. It's constructive. Heard what they had to say. They heard us. Open talks, and that's a good thing. What is the thing? What is the thing that is being protested? Is there somebody that's speaking for this group? Is there anything written on a piece of paper that we can point out and go through line by line by line by line? Because if it's a simple, basic stuff that we all agree on, come on. What's the point? When is enough enough? When will you be satisfied that things are better enough in this country to show some respect to the men and women that served in the military? Although you have the right to do whatever the heck you want to do, apparently. Because it's that you should stand. Written into the code, the bylaws. But it doesn't say you must stand. That depends on what your definition of the word is. I'm over it. It's so ridiculous. The best outcome, a source familiar with the content of the meeting said, would be to give players a reason not to kneel. Okay. Keep going. Jerry Jones. Colin Kaepernick was not invited. Blah, blah, blah. Resolution. What is the what? Tell me where we're unequal under the law. Tell me where that is. I don't understand what this argument is about. Yeah, you know what? I'm over it. Put it in writing so we can actually have a conversation about it. It's the same thing I said about that thing in Charlottesville. Okay. Well, what nonsense are you about to say? You're going to say some ridiculous stuff, some vile, disgusting stuff? Okay. Let's hear it, and let's tear it apart. Oh, no, but you're silenced and pushed away, and you can't even say the thing. So how do we know how to refute the BS points? How can we... Because you get a lot of this blurring of the lines, you get a lot of this meshing, and it's almost like two paint colors on your canvas. You know, get a white and get a blue, and you kind of just start mixing them around, and then you get a really light blue, or yellow and blue, okay, and you got green, and you start swirling them around and overlapping them enough, you're going to get different colors. So one color of paint is stuff we all agree with and understand, and then this other color of paint is some ridiculous jumps, some conclusions that have been jumped to that deserve critique, ridicule, denouncement, the ability to refute. But if you can't have the conversation, we find ourselves in a situation like we are now with the NFL. We literally don't know what you're arguing about. We literally don't know what you're protesting. Why is this awesome country so bad? Tell me. In 2017, where would you rather live and why? Why is this country horrible? Why is this country something you want to disrespect and kneel and say, no, I don't like it here. This place is bad. And I need, now at work, I need everybody around here, all 80,000 of you, I want all of you to know that I don't like this place. This place is wrong. This place is oppressive. This place is unequal. What are you citing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Write it down. Have the conversation. Because you might learn something. We might learn something. But staying intentionally vague, well, you've seen the ratings drop off 7.5% through 6 games this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see that grow and for it to grow next year. Enough is enough. Oh, if you're against unity and harmony and an awesome life and getting along and equality and freedom, you can raise your hand, because I'm not for those things. I don't know. And this whole movement that Colin Kaepernick has to get signed by a team. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so to recap, one more thing. The Cavs, I'm going to jump back now to the Cavaliers. The Cavs did not play the Kyrie Irving video. They had a tribute video, kind of like, thanks for your time here. I don't know, but this is a guy that talked trash and said, oh my gosh, I'm driving into Boston thinking, wow, it's so great to be, am I really in a real sports city? Really? Where the heck do you think you were, pal? I don't need a tribute for him. I don't need a tribute. I'm good. Although that last shot from Kyrie, it kind of looked like it went in. From the angle that he shot it and with the net swishing the way that it did, at least on the camera, it kind of looked like it went in. I'm very glad that it didn't. Horrible third quarter allowed it to get that close. It shouldn't have gotten that close. So anyway, we'll see what happens with Zeke. We'll see what happens with Star-Spangled Banner in the NFL. See if Ohio State can continue their run, see who ends up advancing to the World Series, as if I'm supposed to still care, even though my tribe has been eliminated. And that's about all I got for you today. So thank you for watching. Instagram.com/TheUnhappyHour. That's all sports. Instagram.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. That is politics and current events and sports and other things. YouTube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. Vid.me/TheNewAmericanMedia. Facebook.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. Private group on Facebook. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show on Facebook. So make sure that you link up with it and invite your friends, especially if they're Indians, Cavs, Browns, and Buckeye fans. On Twitter, we're at American_media_. And I'll be back with you again sometime soon, okay? Thank you for your time. Peace.